It's hilarious that when this level of technology is complete, just before the Air Force gives God his omnipotence with time travel, that moment might last forever. Like, we're totally working on things right now. It is a big leap. Who knows what's next? Let's run these simulations to make sure we are doing this right. That is where we are right now in the creation of omnipotence, because we have all the technology right now to create omnipotence, but you know, you don't want to like leap into it, because you never know what's gonna happen, you know, like, it's kind of a big thing. You don't want to mess that up. So because of our proof of it, that time travel into the future exists on rockets with the atomic clocks, proving that to us, and into the past and future with the quantum eraser experiments, that rewrite starlight waves, particles throughout time to the source. We know that God exists, and we know how basic and simple it is to do that. They actually have this documentary on Prime right now that describes, it's called, like, it's kind of misleading looking, like the thumbnail's like, oh, it's a documentary about Einstein, but it's not about Einstein. It's about some scientists proving that the quantum eraser experiment actually affects starlight waves the same way that it affects laser light. I thought that was like, you know, like, and this was done like a while back, you know, like 2 years ago or so, you know, like, it's not just like, I guess that's not a while, but it was just done. But, so the exact opposite of what I was thinking. It was just made, and they never really pushed the bounds of it, like, what it obviously does when you think about it with, like, an innovative kind of brain like what we have. So, yeah, so God exists because that experiment proves that omnipotence exists, and he's at the beginning and end of time. So, like, he's here right now, but he can't mess with the timeline because he doesn't want to risk, like, why risk losing omnipotence by messing with the timeline, you know? So he's just, you know, waiting for his omnipotence, you know? And I think he messes with it a little bit because dinosaurs aren't around and stuff. You know, there's a lot of clues to that stuff's going on. People account that he's doing that all the time. And it's also going to be a male, because the technology is here right now and can, like, be released at any moment that the Air Force thinks it's necessary, you know, or is ready to. And they're not holding back or anything, you know. They're just doing giant tests that are larger than the universe, like, so large makes the universe, like, really small, like just a single atom or something, you know, or a single raindrop. And then super small to where it does no damage at all either, with the omnipotence created with the time travel. And they're just waiting to give that device, that aircraft, you know, type of machine to a full-flying kernel, like they always do with all their aircraft and new inventions. It always goes to a full-flying kernel. generals don't fly. And then how well it goes with the full flying colonel, like how safe it is, you know, like then maybe they give it to, maybe the president becomes God, you know, but at first it's going to be a full flying colonel, you know, so that's going to be the first person with omnipotence. So I think that's really fascinating. And it's here right now. It's able to be turned on. But that's a huge thing to turn on. And it's kind of interesting because the moment before you turn it on is kind of intense, you know, like there's a lot of testing you want to run, a lot of simulations that you want to run, you know, and that's kind of fascinating, you know, what omnipotence does just before it's turned on. And what an omnipotent person, you know, cares about people, and it's all good, like that experience. Like that's an eternity, you know, I think. So I think, you know, that's what we're experiencing right now is what I'm certain that's going on. And hopefully soon, like, we don't have to worry about it anymore. God has his omnipotence in his timeline, and evil's completely destroyed, neutralized. You know, I hope that happens for us soon. You know, it can happen at any moment. It's really fascinating. I don't really foresee, because we're dealing with time travel, right? So it can travel back to like any moment. So that's another thing that's kind of, you know, like, you know, you can travel back to any moment. So why is that going on right now? Like, because obviously simulation is being used very largely around us, and the information gained from those tests in the very large and very small are very important. So yeah, I'm playing the Scarlet keyboard here. I added a couple filter, not a filter, play a lot of notes at once command on it, and it makes it sound much nicer than last time. A nice sketch here. So the future of CRT entertainment. 360 live mobile stream, deep fake auto creates daily VR TV show reflection of your life and what you need / want it to be. So clips recorded, then 3D camera tracker allows a character on top of it, and then at the end of your day, a full-time your full-time of internet / TV watching is there for you, including news. Being viewed as, I guess, as if it were a fancy newspaper or side thought in a show and on, you know, whatever. So there won't be any more actors. There won't be any more movies. There won't be any more musicians. All that is built automatically by, like, all that is built automatically by you and your day and what you prefer while you itch to get to sleep, so that you wake up in the morning to use lucid dreams as a monitor, which is also the foundation of consciousness externalization and 24/7 production, you know, immortality and 24/7 production. So multiplication of your production as a person, like translating your actions. So yeah, you're able to So the future of entertainment is going about your day, it being recorded in 360, and then you're gonna have like sculptures and whatnot, 3D sculptures pasted onto you, like automatically at the end of the day, and it's going to take up the full amount of time that you want that you have to watch TV and news and music all in one. So yeah, so I guess like primarily like so there won't be, and maybe what ends up happening with our multiplication of production with our actions is that we will be working on those 3D models and apps that translate our actions to music, and that's what we will be building while like building other things at the same time, you know. So yeah, and my line of thought there was deleted. It's supposed to be humorous people. Now I'm in pain. Okay. Anyway, that's the future of entertainment there. And then I guess like visually, like the medium of watching it, you have clear visors that clear augmented reality visors to watch it in a place. So it's like very encompassing while you're making your food and things to that effect. They also make music. While you make your food, it makes music. So you know, like clear cell phones, or cell phones projected into clear surfaces, like transparent holographic. They call them holograms, but it's really just a reflection of your cell phone. You know, they're very handy though and very awesome. You know, it's like an ancient technology. It's at like Disneyland. You know, so that's like one way it's going to be used. Another medium of entertainment in the future is lucid dreams used as a monitor. So lucid dreams, when you wake up in the morning, fall back to sleep and move your hands in your mind, and then you can visualize whatever you're thinking about. And the more vivid you start to dream, the less control you have. So if you use apps like what I've built, you can gain more power over the more vivid. You make your lucid dreams more vivid, and you have more power for longer. And you also are able to remind yourself of what you want to dream and what you want to experience. So it's like heaven and hell on earth, but there's a major warning about it. Like if your enemies or your neighbors want to play pranks on you, you could actually be in hell instead of in heaven, conquering grief and whatnot, you know, or whatever you need to conquer and work on. Another thing with lucid dreams being used as a monitor is like the whole system can be put on you while you're sleeping, so that it anticipates like for when you wake up to be used. Then also your sleeping position is guarded. It can also guard you from, like if you're camping, guard you from invaders. Like, you know, the alarms will sound to wake you up to be like, oh, there's bugs crawling on you, etc., you know, or mice starting to chew on you. So yeah, all kinds of things. But yeah, and then the building of them can be done throughout the day. The constructing of them can be activated with an app as well. With that same app, like it can be used to also like help you. See, I think that's going to be our future, is to like your desire of what you want to dream and be plugged into when you're asleep, like the Matrix really describes, is the future there of the lucid dreams as a monitor. Using lucid dreams as a monitor. Again, my line of thought was deleted, and now I'm in a lot of pain. So throughout your day, I think that's the future of production as well. Like we'll be building on these methods to where when we're asleep, that's when we actually work. And that's actually what's going on right now. Like, I think our most productive times are creativity being plugged into any computer system at all when we're asleep, because it's very expensive to create a creative thinking machine like we can think creative. So that will be one thing as well, you know? It's like constructing how we want to use our creativity throughout the day for when we're asleep, and can be literally plugged into any electronic device, any electronics system at all. Because you're submerged in the use of lucid dreams as a monitor. So this is pretty good. I guess it's a podcast, right? Like it's like a song creation podcast. The lyrics, the description of the stereo instructions of innovations is not as good, because I haven't figured out how to put a live filter that lowers and augments my live speaking as good as I'd like it to. It still counts though, you know, just speaking, but I think there's something to adding the filter. It becomes, and then you can play the filters and stuff. So what's going on in the audio in the video stream here is off to the left. We got a 3 model that acts as a shield of the quantum eraser experiment. It's also a dream machine, so that when you put your face up to the screen there and fill your eyes, your closed eyes, with that flickering, it will create a dream machine. It is a dream machine, and the flickering creates a Mandela pattern on the back of your closed eyelids after like a minute or so, and visualizations and things. So it's really cool, you know. And all it takes is just closing your eyes and looking at it for about a minute, you know. So it's pretty cool. Also, the quantum eraser experiment shield. So this will deflect the interference from other light particles that swarm your quantum eraser experiment information sent to the edge of the observable universe when you look at starlight. So by having this and your if you look at this while you're looking at the stars outside, your mind is more easily sent to the edge of the observable universe, and like you're thoroughly, like you're more protected. Like it will empower your will upon the universe more so than normal, and what you decide to build will be protected from interfering light particles. So it's just a shield. So it's just like an orb around your information stream, which you can use to sculpt with, and is naturally sculpting the whole time anyway. But you can also use it to sculpt, and also if you're giving it like orders and things, that also works as well, which is kind of interesting how, you know, that's what minds do. So like visualizing things in your brain also can be absorbed into it, which is really weird. Anyway, that's like well, I can go into that more later. So yeah, that's the stereo instructions. This was a test to see how the stereo instructions do with the 360 camera that I have here. It has spatial audio, so let me test moving around the place here. So I'm going to speak over here. Let's see how much different the audio is if I speak over there, and if I go over here, and then I'll go. So that should, with the spatial audio, when I wear earbuds, should create a good test of the sound as if I was actually hearing it. So like I can use that to sculpt sound with eventually. So because it's using 2 microphones instead of just the one, it's 3D sound. But it doesn't sound too good so far, so I don't know. Let's see how it does, you know? Another thing I noticed with the stream before was that when I have the see, there's a pause right there. It's not supposed to be paused right now. See, and it's only it says I've been recording for 19 minutes. Look at this. It's so lagged. It's crazy. I don't even know. Like, I think right now I'm supposed to let this like just run and then put a cover on it, because that's what other streams have been doing. Like they close the cover on the stream and then they let it run for like an additional 45 minutes sometimes, just so that they have their full song recorded. Last time they clipped this exact podcast / song at the end last time. So I'm just gonna cover this up like this and get ready for the day.